Hey guys, you're listening to Wait Out Radio with me, DJ Paula Frost. We got the best punk, ska and reggae around, and today we're down here at the Water Rats in London with EMF. We're about to interview them and they're off to sound check very shortly. So stay tuned, it's all coming up.
It's got the world beneath her feet, she's got the hits.
How you guys doing? It's amazing to be with you. Thank you for tuning in. And today, what? EMF down at the Water Rats. I'm so excited. Yeah, guys, what does this venue mean to you? How are you feeling?
Oh man, well, it's good to be back here. I haven't been back since the early 90s. And it was strange walking into the room. I don't remember it being like, I remember it being a bit grungy and dirty and horrible, but it's all nice and plush and lovely, and it's great to be back.
Yeah, I think I spent the whole of Oasis's debut gig we're talking at the bar back in the day in here, and I think I missed a gem then, but that's just how it was. You come here and just you bump into people at the bar. And
that's right, it was one of the haunts, wasn't it? Because we were both from North London, living in North London, so yeah, we used to come and hang out at Water Rats. It's lovely. What a place to come back to.
Wicked. So yeah, thanks for having me down here. And Go Go Sapiens, I mean, I'm loving the album. I've been listening to it on rotation since it got sent to me, and I got a lot of questions about it. So yeah, congratulations, out on April the 1st. And yeah, I just love the vibe of it. So tell me a bit about, why now, and yeah, 9 years down the road, right?
27 years. Oh, it might be 9 years. God, I can't remember. It's been a long old journey. Yeah, the time felt right, that we had some unfinished business, blah, blah, blah. We were like, yeah, no, it felt good and it felt easy, and we felt, why not? We love doing what we do, so let's go out, write some new songs and go out and play some gigs. That simple, honestly.
Yeah. Since 1995.
That's the truth. Yeah. James, and we had a great 30th anniversary year. During the pandemic, we did some online shows, and the socials were really good. The fans were really engaging, and this felt like a really great community there, and a lot of love for EMF, and we just wanted to give a bit of love back.
Amazing, 100%. Yes, loving that. Right, opening track started it. It's got a great balance of real and sampled sounds, I found, and the guitar riff, the vocals, and the opening rhythm are really infectious. So tell me a bit about that track, because it really opens the album beautifully.
Yeah, it's a great starter to a track because it's not up-tempo. It kind of eases you into the record. It's great to have a new song to start the set with. And we're going to do it tonight. We've done an extended intro and stuff like that. But yeah, it's got like a groove, but then it's got some punk rocky kind of vocals and guitars. It's kind of just EMF and what we do, really.
Yeah, and we've been starting the set with Children for about 30 years, so it's time to start with another one. And I just love what it says. It's like, don't stop, and now we started it. It's like, it sort of feels like, here we are, we got to keep this going. It feels really good.
Yeah, amazing. And the band has always had like punk ties as well. Like, you guys covered an Iggy Pop song, and you guys were compared to the Sex Pistols a lot at the beginning, and you have a gruffer sound as you've gone along. Like, tell us a bit about like some of the punk bands you love and how it flows into EMF.
Okay, well, we were completely indie kids before we were dance kids, before EMF came along. Certainly, I was a bit young for punk, but new wave, I love the Jam. I mean, Ian, certainly you love the Clash, don't you? Like, Ian just wanted to be in the Clash, I think, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, I started playing the guitar because I heard the Sex Pistols and the Clash and the Damned, and I loved all those bands. And on the 13th of May, we're going to be playing the Westworld Weekender with Kurt Brandon, who I adore, and Theatre of Hate, and you're so lucky. We'll be getting that. We'll be working on those. But also the Ruts are playing on the Friday night, and for me, I mean, the Ruts, that was just such an amazing thing. So it does. I'm the one, because I'm a bit older than them with the punk roots probably. So that guitar playing, it's all that, all the downstrokes and the bar chords and and so there's always been a bit of that combined with, James is the techno head. He comes from another era of rawness, but like electronic rawness, and that's sort of the EMF sound. Those two things, the punk and the techno, and
they can live side by side, I think. I mean, there's a lot of punk in techno. You know what I mean? So yeah, and there is a little bit of groove in punk music. Yeah. So certainly with the Clash, they've got grooves, haven't they? And the Ruts even, it's all about the grooves and that.
Yeah, when I was listening to the album, it was kind of reminding me a little bit of like Carter USM and a little bit of the Charlatans in places. Do you like those bands at all?
I think that's just a throwback of us being a 90s band. I think there was a sound, a 90s sound.
Yeah.
We can't get away with sounding like Manchester charlatans and stuff like. I mean, it's just it's how bands are put together. You know, yeah, I guess so. I mean, we were always a little bit. We were kind of grouped in with the Manchester scene and stuff, but we were always not from Manchester, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we can't get away from our 90s roots.
Okay. So the track "Keep It Coming" references like Joey Ramone and MC5, and it's a really interesting lyrics. I mean, the whole album, I can't fault the lyrics. I think they're really strong all the way through. But tell us a bit about that.
Gotta keep it coming. Yeah, I mean, that one just wrote itself, really. I kind of just, it's a conscious spiel of name-checking people I love. You know, adolescent kicks like an undertone. Johnny B. Good, B.B. King. But it's got a little bit, and then I couldn't actually finish it, so Ian went off and finished the lyrics for me. So I had the verses, it was brilliant, I love the flow of them, but then Ian went off and says, he'd come back with another few verses, and he managed to get Christine and the Queens in there, and Royal Blood, and the Ringo, Gene Kelly.
The Beatles,
Yeah, you managed. So yeah, I mean, what a great way, and the lyrics are quite fast, so you've got to fit a lot in there, so just singing it out.
So tell me a bit about the style of the band. So guys, whoever's listening on the radio, we've got a bobble hat here, it's got EMF on the front, we've got the little cartoony guy drawing on the front, and then we've got this really cool white long sleeve with the black sort of skeleton lines on it. It's really cool. So tell us about your style.
You know, I like to nail my look. I don't know. I mean, again, it's tricky, isn't it? I mean, I know. The thing is, I've got two grown-up teenage sons, and I find when I dress in the same as them, which is really sad, isn't it? But you know, it's like I could quite easily go into my 15-year-old son's wardrobe and steal his, and the same with their mom as well. She dresses like a 14-year-old teenager. Yeah, maybe I can't get away with it, but hey ho. I'm just going to keep it going for a little while. Yeah.
My 17-year-old son is like, oh my God, that 90s look, you were so cool. And he's wearing big baggy T-shirts and and baggy shorts and stuff.
I sent your daughter a bucket hat the other day, didn't I?
That's right.
And it was a Stone Roses inspired one with all the splattered paint on it. And your daughter loved it, didn't she?
That's right, it's all coming back round again. It's all...
Yeah, I mean, look at you. You look amazing. You're straight out of...
I'm trying to go for a Bob Marley kind of thing.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
So what I was really impressed with about this kind of bringing together of the band is that you've got all original members, of course, apart from Zach, who sadly passed in 2002. But I mean, what's your relationship like, and how have you been over the years?
Well, do you know what? It has been difficult to keep the original lineup. Obviously, it ain't going to be the same as what it was in the 90s because we did lose Zach. We've had musicians come in and go. I mean, the core of it has always been me and Ian writing the songs. So we have recruited a new drummer in for this. Stevie's been with us since Zach passed, and Derry is normally with us, but he has injured his leg at the moment. So, we're almost the full lineup. But, you know, after 30 years, when you've got people dying on you, losing the plot or getting injured, it's quite difficult to keep a lineup together, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, so the one random question is the Yoko Ono thing, because she actually delayed your first album coming out because of the soundbite you used of the murder of John Lennon, like singing Beatles lyrics or saying them. So tell me about that, because that is a mental story.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember much going on. Ian, do you remember this? I remember upsetting Yoko, which is like terrible. And Yoko's...
You know what? We didn't mean to upset Yoko, and we used it because the song Lies that it was on was about people who delude themselves, you know.
Yeah.
And so it felt appropriate to use it, but the moment that Yoko Ono felt that it was inappropriate, it was like we took them off air because that obviously the message wasn't getting through, and I think that was only right.
Yeah.
And because the last thing we wanted to do was offend anyone, especially her, because we adore John Lennon.
It's funny,
Got a lot of
I've
heart.
just been finishing the John Lennon book, and I'm really warm to Yoko, but by the end of the book, I'm kind of going a little bit cold on her again. And
Did you watch that Beatles documentary that just came out with her?
watch it with the whole Get Back. The whole Get Back thing, is brilliant.
Yeah.
You felt like you were in the room with them. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I love that.
I loved it.
Yeah, it was great.
All right, guys, thanks so much. Thank you.
Wild men who caught and sang the sun in flight, do not go gentle into that good night. Rage, rage against the dying. Rage, rage against the dying of the night.
You've heard it already? No, I was at school and I was doing my music, my GCSE, and this music teacher dragged me to see this young prodigy guitarist do a classical recital in a church hall. It was only Ian Dent, wasn't it? It is a pleasure to be standing next to him 35 years later.
The pleasure is mine.
Do you know where it was recorded?
In your house.
Yeah. It was recorded in the Yorkshire Dales and at Ian's studio, which is about 10 minutes from here. So quite different, varied locations. Put your hands in the air for Yorkshire. Put your hands in the air for North London.
Finsbury Park, please.
I like to think it sounds a little bit more Yorkshire, this album.
A little bit country, a little bit city.
Yeah. Time has come to do what must be done, and all is flame, and you're to blame, and you can't run. We'll see you all after for a beer. Thank you.
DJ Paula Frost, and I'm here with Roman, who's a big fan of EMF. How you doing, Roman?
I'm alright. I'm really excited to be here tonight at the gig.
Yes, right now we're at the EMF gig down at the Water Rats in London. They've released their first album since 1995. Tell us a bit about your journey with the band.
So I started listening to them when they released, obviously, the first album, Sugar Dip. I became a great fan of them, and then I had the pleasure of seeing them when I was 13 years of age in Mexico City. These guys were touring with A Flock of Seagulls with the album Stigma. And I remember I went backstage and these guys were drinking Coronas in Mexico City. And it was amazing. And since then I just basically follow them through. They represent basically the music of all my youth and the good years of the 90s.
Yeah, amazing. So what brings you to London, and like how did you find out about tonight?
Well, I'm actually a doctor, so I studied medicine. I came here. I work for the NHS now.
Thank you for all your hard work, and we really appreciate it. Thank you.
Pleasure. And now I saw the opportunity to go. I saw that they're releasing the new album after all this time, as you said, and I said I need to be there. I need to be there, and you can still listen the vibe of these guys. They keep that energy.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can enjoy again good music like before.
It's a very, very inspirational story. I mean, like, tell us a little bit about back in Mexico, what your lifestyle's like, and just a bit about yourself.
So, Mexico City, as you know, it's a very vibrant, big city. Lifestyle is crazy there. Beautiful city, very surreal. And growing up with all this music was amazing. I have very good memories back in time, and seeing a lot of bands, including them. In those days, was really precious to go and see them, because in Mexico at that time, the artists, they were not as common to arrive there and gig as in other parts in the States. So yeah, it was amazing seeing them back then.
Awesome. Well, it's so amazing to meet you, and we'll see you down in the gig, man. So thank you so much for talking to us, and it's great to meet you.
Absolutely, and enjoy the show as well, and let's see what they bring us.
Yeah. Awesome.